We're talking UFC on ESPN Plus 10. Fight Night 152 Rochester, the main event, boys. Let's break it down. Kevin Lee versus RDA, Rafael dos Anjos, you know what I'm saying? Coming off 2 losses in a row. Kevin Lee coming off a loss himself. This is the UFC's way of cutting them out. You know what I'm saying? Cutting each other out. Only one can survive this losing streak. You know what I'm saying? And I find it weird that they've got a main event spot. You know what I'm saying? Because RDA is coming off 2 losses in a row. Both in main events or co-main event to a pay-per-view. Which is no hard feelings. Kevin Lee's coming off a loss. He's been in the main event in his past 4 fights. Including this one. So his past 3 fights he's been in main events. I mean, the UFC really likes these 2 guys. You know what I'm saying? So having these 2 fight is a great fucking fight, boys. The rest of the card is absolute dog shit. Absolute fucking dog shit. Now Neil Magny's ruined it by pulling out last minute. Absolutely fucking dog shit card. I wonder what piece of shit they're going to get to fill in Vincent Luque's fight. Either way, RDA versus Kevin Lee's the one I'm looking forward to here. Every other fight is trash, but I'm looking forward to RDA versus Kevin Lee. I really am. This is a great fight. I feel like Kevin Lee's going to get a win, but RDA poses some threats. You know what I'm saying? You could argue that Kevin Lee's a wrestler, and for that reason he's going to get the win because RDA has trouble against wrestlers, but then again Kevin Lee's going to be a smaller wrestler. Even though I think he's going to come in around the same size as Colby. But he's not going to be quite as big as Usman, who just cuts more weight than everyone else and is the biggest guy at welterweight. You know, and when you're a wrestler and you're the biggest guy, doesn't really matter how good you are. You know what I'm saying? You're 10 pounds bigger in muscle than someone. It doesn't matter how fucking good their single leg is. They're not going to beat you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, RDA has fallen on some tough times recently. Tough matchups back to back. Usually I'm a fan of guys that take these hard matchups, but I feel like after a loss against Colby, where it's humiliating, I'm going to pick my nose off camera. After a loss to Colby when it's humiliating, take an up-and-comer. You don't need to jump straight in there against Usman to prove something. Like, I can fight wrestlers, watch, and then you get taken down again. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to prove it. I'm going to have to pick my nose again. Something's wrong. You don't have to fight wrestlers over and over again, but then again, you take on another wrestler in Kevin Lee. He's not afraid to strike. He does strike now and again, and although people have made a huge deal about his chin, considering how much weight he's cut and the shots that he took for that chin to be wobbled, spinning wheel kick from Edson Barbosa, you don't survive that. You know what I'm saying? People don't survive that. A lot of people don't. Kevin Lee survived it, was on wobbly legs, and still found a way to get the takedown and get Edson Barbosa to the ground, and in my opinion, he beat Edson Barbosa far more definitively than Khabib did. I think in terms of positioning on the ground and wrestling prowess, Khabib is way better than Kevin Lee. But in terms of ground and pound and firing shots from the guard and actually inflicting damage to get a TKO finish, I feel like Kevin Lee's the guy. On the ground, that is. That's especially what you saw in that Edson Barbosa fight. You know, Edson Barbosa and Khabib, it was frustrating to watch. You know what I'm saying? Because Edson Barbosa can't get back up. Khabib's just holding him down. It was frustrating. It was like, oh my god, he's taking him down again. Like, this is just brutal to watch. Like, but against Kevin Lee, you were like, oh, he's pounding his face in. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't that with Khabib as much. Although he did land some shots, they were more just annoyance shots and then, the inevitable takedown again. He started sweating while watching that fight, I remember. But yeah, I think RDA is going to lose this one, boys. I think there comes a time where 170, you're just not... He's going to be the bigger guy, thickness-wise, but he was bigger than Colby. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Rogan made a huge deal about how RDA is so much smaller than Colby, even though that's just not the case whatsoever. I mean, Colby Covington's a really thin guy. He's got thin legs. You know what I'm saying? He isn't a bulky guy like RDA. For example, RDA's 5'9", Colby's 5'11". That's a 2-inch difference. You know what I'm saying? And Colby's way thinner than him. It's not like RDA versus Usman. RDA versus Usman, you were like, okay, RDA's in over his fucking head here. He's fighting a middleweight and he's a lightweight. You know what I'm saying? There was like 2 weight classes between them. And Usman just threw him around. But yeah, RDA, I feel like he's in for some trouble here, boys. He's taken a lot of damage in the past 2 fights. And also, there seems to be a thing where I know RDA is good wrestling and he has good jiu-jitsu. But for some reason, when he faces wrestlers, He backs himself up into the cage, back against the fence, and he does it to himself every time. After the Colby fight, I expected him to go guns blazing forward against Usman. Okay, because Usman's stand-up isn't the best, let's be real. That's his weakness, if anything. So I thought RDA was going to come forward, start blasting shots, and just go for aggression and back Usman up like you did against Lawler, a similarly big opponent. You know what I'm saying? But no, he went in there, and it was almost like he had flashbacks from Colby, and just backed himself into the cage and said, okay, shoot for the takedown. I'll try and defend it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It just, there was no, you know what I'm saying? It was just getting taken down and looking at the clock like, oh, just avoid damage for now. Because that was the difference between, I think Colby really fucked up RDA, if I'm honest with you, in terms of fighting wrestlers. And I think if RDA goes into that mindset and he hasn't cleared the cobwebs of his former fights, it's not going to be good for him. Because if he backs up against the cage against Kevin Lee's going to blast a double leg and take him down, in my opinion. And I think Kevin Lee's getting better every day. He's moving up in weight to 170. His chin's going to be better. His punches are going to be stronger. He's going to have more power. Same thing as his punches being stronger. Probably going to be a bit faster without that wariness after cutting so much weight. He's going to have better cardio. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be able to take more damage. Just in general, with all his muscles being bigger and just a bigger guy in general. He's going to be bigger than RDA. You know what I'm saying? And he's a stylistic nightmare for RDA as well. So I can see the fight going like this. RDA comes out. That sort of style. Kevin Lee jabs, kicks. RDA doesn't come forward. He's going to go back to the cage, put his back against the cage, and Kevin Lee's going to shoot for a takedown and get it. And RDA's going to get tired, and Kevin Lee's going to have his way with him on the ground. Because I think there's way more consequences to the ground and pound of Kevin Lee than there is against positional wrestlers like Usman, Khabib, and Colby. Where they're just trying to... Like, Colby's different. Colby's a smotherer. He's trying to drag you. He leans on you. He tires you out that way. He'll lean on you in the clinch against the fence and, like, shoot little shots into the body. Usman's kind of the same, but he likes to get guys to the ground and lay on them. And only body shot on the ground. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't go for finishes on the ground. I mean, he has one UFC finish. 2. But one was in the Ultimate Fighter finale. He finished Sergio Moraes by a knockout, and that was the only UFC finish he has. Like, he doesn't have brutal ground and pound or good power. You know what I'm saying? But if he finds a shot, he's a big guy. He's going to knock someone out. You know what I'm saying? Especially a jiu-jitsu expert like Moraes. But yeah, I just feel like Kevin Lee's got this one, boys. Mark my words. And I like Kevin Lee, man. I like him. People hate on him so much. I no idea why. No idea why people hate on him. He makes it interesting. He gives good interviews. He talks about the game. He tells you how much he weighs. You know what I'm saying? People don't talk about that stuff. Like, interviewers will ask a question and guys are like, come on, man. I don't want to answer that shit. What are you trying to do? You trying to instigate an argument? What? That's what everyone wants to hear. We want to hear how much you weigh. What was the training camp like? Really? Let's tell it how it is. You know, you don't want to hear RDA going on about, you know, this is my best fight, and training camp was great, and Jason Perillo, great coach. And yeah, we don't give a fuck. Kevin Lee tells it how it is. You know, I'm getting fucked up in... I can't do that voice, because that's stereotypical. You know. That's how Kevin Lee... Everything is you know. But yeah, I think Kevin Lee's going to get the job done. That wasn't even a Kevin Lee impression. That was just a hood guy impression. Exposed. MMA guru exposed. Racist MMA YouTuber. I'm just picturing headlines in my head at someday. Anyway, whatever. Kevin Lee gets the win. I think he outstrikes him. I think he outgrapples him. I think he gets the job done. I believe he's the underdog as well. Yeah, good money on Kevin Lee, boys. There's only improvements with moving up in weight, especially when you give yourself time to do it like Kevin Lee has. Because Holloway didn't give himself time to do it, and that's the only example where moving up in weight hasn't worked out. You know what I'm saying? Holloway is the only example that I can think of right now. You've got McGregor, DC. Yeah, Holloway is the only example of moving up in weight that hasn't worked. You know what I'm saying? Especially because the guys are too big for the weight class. I think Holloway just literally put on 10 pounds of fat to fight Dustin Poirier. He accepted the fight. He was in shape to fight at 145 because he knew that fight season was coming around for him. He fights twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year. So he puts on some weight, gets round into 145 shape. Then they're like, right, you're fighting Dustin Poirier at 155. How long? 6 weeks. Okay. Cupcakes. You know what I'm saying? He just straight to cupcakes. Just eat whatever the fuck he can to gain 10 pounds. That's all it kind of was for me. Anyway. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Did I even talk about the fight? There's something wrong with me. I think I'm down, like, mentally challenged in some kind of way. I don't know. Kevin Lee, 4th round TKO or a decision. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it goes into the 5th and he gets a finish. If he gets the finish, it'll be in the 3rd or 4th. Don't see it happen in the first 2. 3rd or 4th round TKO, or it goes to full distance and RDA wins some rounds. There you go, boys. Like and subscribe. I think this is going to be a coming out party for Kevin Lee. People are going to realise how good he is, and then it sets up big matchups for him at 170. He wants to stay at 155. Shut the fuck up. If you win this fight, stay at 170. Okay, we've seen you against guys at 155, and we've seen you lose. I want to see that shit again. Okay? If you can't beat Ally Quinta, there's guys at the top who can. And there's guys at the top who can beat you as well. If you win at 170, that's the weight class, man. Stay there. Wrestlers fit right in that division. I'll tell you that much. Like and subscribe.